Hello, this is my October sum up. That is Willow. You okay, princess? Um, it is obviously dark. I think this is the first time I've ever done one of these when it's been dark outside, but it gets dark at like 5 o'clock now, so this is what we have to deal with. Um, and obviously I'm repping the red Christmas already because as soon as November 1st hit, I was sick. But yeah, so ready for Christmas. So let me dive into everything I did in October. Oh yeah, if you never watched one of these videos of mine before, this is basically a series I've been doing this year because um, at the very start of this year, I lost the most important person to me in the whole world, and that was unexpected. And it's like you just never expect them to pass away. So instead of I got out of our credit card and I booked all my bucket list. And I think it's just been such a journey almost over these episodes to sort of see like one talk about the bucket list things which I booked because they literally spanned across the whole year, and also to yeah, just sort of see what things I kept doing from the bucket list, or like things that made me feel, because basically I'm not in that mindset anymore of doing that. So I don't know. I think it's just I'm so grateful I've done these, even just for myself to look back on, because yeah, I can't believe how much I've changed. And it's almost the end of the year. That's so mad. Okay, let me get on to this before I get even more sentimental. But basically, on the 2nd of October, so the first I obviously just had a chill day. 2nd of October, I went to see my friend Catherine, or Bren. Um, this was our like first. She's recently moved to the UK, and this was our first like full day together. I think I spent a couple hours with her the week prior, but this was our first full day together, and it was her birthday just a couple days before, and I got to meet her husband for the first time, and we went out for dinner, and it was just yeah, it was just so fun to yeah, just spend time with them and just see more of their life and spend more time with her really, because yeah, you know what's mad? I haven't seen her since, but you'll understand why when we get through the list. But I will message her as soon as I finish filming this. So on the 3rd of October was my lovely Danny's birthday. Um, what birthday? Is this our third celebration of his birthday together? I think so, yeah. So obviously I quit my job basically in the last episode. So I don't have much money, and that was made aware to my partner, bless him, that he normally gets very, very spoiled, and this year he didn't. But at the last minute, I realised I had a little bit more than I was expecting, so I booked us a little getaway. He was expecting like a Premier Inn, but I found this really pretty little lodge on booking.com, kind of like an Airbnb. It was like in someone's back garden, but like private, like fenced off. And that was really, really fun and cool. And just, yeah, like a different experience, and like to, I don't know, make it a bit more special for him. And he absolutely adored his presents. Bless him. He's like the most grateful person ever. But like the like tiny present I got him, like he absolutely loved. So yeah, that was lovely. Um, and then on the 8th of October, I had another pet sitting gig. So I started pet sitting. And I was staying with this bully called AJ. And I was actually staying in like a couple counties away from me, but like it wasn't that far, like because I'm at the edge of a county and they was at the edge of a county. So like it didn't seem that far. But I was but I was, yeah, like a toll bridge away from what I know and like my friends and family and stuff. So it was a little bit hard, and obviously I'm not made of money at the minute. So to cross the toll bridge, um, you know, I had to have a good reason for it, not just it's enough for my mental health. But anyways, yeah. So I was looking after lovely AJ. He was absolutely the best little baby ever. He obviously he's a bully, so he has to legally have certain things when he goes out on a walk. But he was the best walk. Like I've never walked a better dog in my life. He was so perfect. And I really miss him. And yeah, he was just so gorgeous. So that was the first day, was the 8th. Unfortunately, on the 9th, I had to return to my hometown because I had a funeral for my grandparent. So I lost my nan last year, and I lost my granddad this year. So that was my granddad's funeral. So for that side of the family, it felt really sort of final that like that generation had come to an end. But I feel like we were no, he's with nan, and yeah, I went half on that too long. Um, so obviously I was staying with AJ in the next county for a week, so I had to leave slightly early from the wake, which was okay. But I was obviously very sad when I returned back, obviously staying in someone else's house with not my cats. And AJ was really protective of this certain blanket the whole time. I came to realize he loved this blanket, and when I was just sitting on the sofa crying basically, and he came over and he put his blanket on my lap, and I didn't know at the time because I'd only known him for like a day or so, but yeah, that was so sweet. He was obviously trying to make me happy, and oh, he's just such a gorgeous little boy. And again, I believe everything happens for a reason, so you know, maybe it was best that I was away from home and could process things a little bit more rather than trying to put on a brave face. And lovely AJ was there for me. um, funnily enough, um, a couple of days later, after staying in this new county with a family I don't know, but a dog I was getting to know, not only did I have the funeral of my granddad, but I also had my first ever shift at Lush, which feels like forever ago now, but it's less than a month ago. Yeah, wow. Um, so yeah, that was obviously very, very anxiety inducing. My stomach was hating me. And yeah, I didn't have like I did have fake tan and makeup and stuff, but like I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable in someone else's house to, I don't know, just be completely naked and fake tan. I guess especially whilst I'm there to like look after the dog. So like I just wanted to be there with him 24/7, not upstairs fake tan him. Anyways. So I didn't feel like super confident. But yeah. So I had my first shift, and I mean I'm less than a month in, which feels crazy, but I absolutely adore the job. I think Lush is such a great company to work for. I couldn't Part of my massive downward spiral this year was sort of like not being able to find my place in the world. Like it's a capitalist society, which I hate. So I feel like I'm being controlled and I don't want to work. I don't want to be away from my family. Like, why? Like, I spent too much of that away from my cat and she died. And, like, do you know what I mean? Like, everything just felt a bit pointless. So, and like, again, like trying to work for a capitalist place that is nice and fits in with my values. Like, I really struggled for a long time in finding my place, trying to stay on the earth, really. I didn't really want to. I guess it's people around me telling me I should. But yeah, so grateful that Lush hired me, because everything they stand for, I truly do not think I could work anywhere else. And anytime I like drive home from a shift thinking about that, it really gets me because and like literally, I mean, all my friends I think would be supportive anyways, but they're very all much like, Jess, this is what you're meant to be, because I think they agree. Like again, like I'm not shy about talking about things online, um, so that everyone kind of knows my emotional state. But yeah, I think it's such an incredible place to work, and literally even the customers say that like, yeah, like you work for such an amazing company, and I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like I'm so lucky, and I do feel lucky. And the more I learn about them through training and stuff, like it's so amazing. Which brings me on to my next thing. On the 12th of October, I had my first ever training session. Now I have been trained twice a week since working at Lush, and it hasn't stopped yet. I love that. I've worked in retail only once before. I worked in Urban Outfitters, and there was like no training. And I guess it's different because it's cosmetics. So like I'm properly trained on all the ingredients and different kind of people's hair and different, obviously like seasonal products. So our first training was all Christmas stuff, and literally ever since the 12th of October on this Christmas training, I have been ready for Christmas. Like I kind of put Halloween, and I was kind of done with it. Um, which to me, or from me, sounds slightly blasphemous. Hold on, Willow is going to probably smash something. But yeah, Christmas training, so that was really fun. And they also gave me a freebie to take away. So I took this like Silent Night bubble bar. Um, Another thing with Lush, they give you 2 free products a month and 50% off most items. Any collabs, you get 25% off, but even so, that's still incredible. So yeah. I'm having the best time. And obviously we give testers for everything, so our staff, we're meant to know our products so like we can take testers too. So yeah, I love that. But anyways, my last day of AJ was on the 14th of October and I missed him. I was so sad to say goodbye to him. I tucked him into bed and then his mum came home in the morning, or like later on that night. But yeah, such a gorgeous boy. Love him. Um, the day after, I had a cat to cat sit. Luckily, they were kind of like pretty much just around the corner from where I live, and I only had to go in once a day. They didn't want me to stay there, so that was lovely to sort of see her. Her name was Penny. Is Penny. She looks like a beige version of my Tinky that I lost in January, and I've come to love her family. I think they're so amazing. They've recently moved to the area, and they're just the honestly the best couple. As soon as they got back, they sent me a family selfie with them holding Penny and saying like, "We're back and thank you for looking after her. Like you were so good and stuff." Um, and like yeah, dropping their key off to them. I thought yeah, they're just honestly great, great people. So the first day I had Penny, I also had a therapy session. This was such a deep therapy session because we spoke a lot about how previous partners have treated me, and especially I feel like in young relationships, like teenage relationships, things can get abusive very easily and toxic without realizing. And I've always sort of known I suffered abuse, and not guessing not at anyone's fault, but like I don't want like I have nothing but like love and respect and for that person now. Um and I know that I wasn't a great girlfriend either. In terms of like I say I asked for a lot. Like I don't know. I guess like I asked for like Christmas presents and birthday presents and flowers and whatever. But yeah, so I detailed everything to my therapist, and she was the first sort of objective person that obviously knew the whole story as well, because I think a lot of people sugarcoat things too. And she was like, "You were abused," and I just cried because I was like, "No one's ever like validified that for me." And then I sort of went to her and I was like, "Yeah, but I wasn't a good girlfriend. I was really stressy. Like I wasn't very warm to him." And she was like, "Jasmine, why would you have been? Like how could you have been warm to anyone when you were going through that?" And I was like, "You're so right." Um, and yeah, so it was just nice to sort of acknowledge that and like release that version of me that was sort of stuck in that. And yeah, I guess now sort of just if thinking about that person, only just wishing them the absolute best. And I know they would have learnt from it all, and I know they have because of certain things. But yeah, that was a big healer for me. So that was a really important therapy session. And funnily enough, straight after that, my therapist always says like when we have like a very deep and like emotionally hard, like really hard hitting session that like where things like that come up, she's like, you need to just rest for the rest of the day. Like don't do anything, do something to treat yourself. She's like because your body will keep reacting to it. Then she was like, what are you gonna do now? And I was like, I have a massage booked. Um, so that was really good. I actually have like my therapist is on like a high street, and then like halfway up the high street, like she's at the end, and then halfway up the high street is a massage bar. So I went there and had my massage, which was gorgeous. And then at the other end of the high street is where my nail lady, I don't know, the lovely lady who does my nails, works out of, and I had my nail appointment afterwards. And I believe actually this was this set, which was meant to be gone by now, but I rearranged it, or she rearranged it for tomorrow. These were just my standard Halloweeny pointy black. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, it's like really grown out. Yeah, I'm very excited. And like literally, these are all my own nails. So this is BIAB. So this is something I started. That was like a bucket list thing, which I started quite early on. I think in like April time. And I've kept so religious with that. That makes me feel so good. My nails before, like I guess since having BIAB, I didn't realize the effect of having nice nails would be. Well, like kept tidy and stuff. Because like I think they're nice, you might not, but yeah, because I begrudged spending that money, but I always wanted to try BIAB because it was trendy and good, better for the environment and for your nails. So like I was wanted to try it, but literally having like done nails, like, just makes me feel so much more put together and, like, less embarrassed, I think. Like, I had so much skin and stuff growing around them, and it literally took just one session. She was like, "Okay, let me just put the BIAB on, and the next time you come in, like, you can't, like, bite the BIAB, well, you can, but yeah, like, basically my nails were fixed, and then they've just been growing ever since." So, yeah, I mean, you might hate them, but I friggin' love them. Um, so yeah, we had that. And then on the 19th of October, we just had another training session at LUSH just for admin. But that's where I found out we get our 2 free products a month, which is absolutely wild. What did I get the first month? Oh, I got Danny a dream cream because that's like really good for eczema prone skin. So I wanted him to try that. And then I got myself a body spray. Oh, I got myself a sticky dates body spray because I loved the sticky dates before I started working there. So that's lovely. And then this month, what have I got? I got a Sex Bomb body spray, so that was on my wish list, and the Chelsea Morning perfume, which is like the best-selling perfume, but I actually really like it as well. So yeah. And then quite a stark jump to the 25th of October, where I met this lovely couple who are getting married soon. And basically, I just had this amazing feedback from them. That basically they went to. I mean, I don't really want to. So they just basically had a setback that was really annoying about the wedding planning and people not being that nice to them. And then they said they came into LUSH and that. Oh, I think the exact wording of the feedback they gave me was it's so nice when people get it right, but not just right, but really right. And said that they came in feeling really blue and they left feeling lighthearted and had so much cosmetic knowledge and like spa treatments and stuff for them to take away and do at home. And then they said that they were like almost skipping out the shop. And they literally he wrote a letter, he wrote an email literally and was like, "Can you send this to the CEO?" And he finished it off by saying, like, "Thank you for hiring such a wonderful young lady." I'm gonna cry. Yeah, and I think as silly as it sounds, one, I love sort of being like an overachiever and stuff and like to be, new and get that was amazing. To make them feel how they did was amazing, especially because I feel like such like a again, like I'm not really mentally that well. I think I am getting there. I think I'm good now. But like that was the first sort of time where someone I didn't know saw something good in me and like really vocalized it. And even just to say like a special young lady, like, oh, um, I thought that enough to even tell someone else that, like, oh, yeah, what amazing people. But yeah, so it just sort of like validified everything for me as well that like, um, I made the right decision and I wouldn't have got this feeling. Well, to be fair, when I did do nice things in my admin job, I was told off for it, even though I was putting the patient and the family first, which was the whole point of the NHS. And I still, even when I raised that point, got told off because apparently a report, which was done on time still, anyways, should have been prioritized. But I was more than happy to go to the chief exec team and be like, look, the report may have been 20 minutes late because I was helping out a family with a bereavement, actually. But yeah, anyways, I always made the right decision in terms of putting everyone first rather than stupid reports and managers. So there's obviously a quiet bitterness still in me there. But anyways, the day after the lovely feedback I got was on the 26th of October, and I went pumpkin picking with my lovely niece and nephew. They stayed actually on the 25th night, and this is probably the day I look forward to most in the whole year. I adore my niece and nephew. Okay, I'm gonna bloody cry again. They are. I mean, all my nieces and nephews are so amazing and special, and I truly love them like equally. But this niece and nephew like come and stay at my house because it's like my family's split. We're all broken families and stuff. So, anyways, this niece and nephew is the only ones that come stay at my house, and come to the house that I live in. And yeah, I just adore them. We always go pumpkin picking every year from when he was like 1, and from when she was like a baby. Maybe she was 1 as well. Maybe we didn't. No, we did. I was holding her when she was a baby. Yeah, anyways, it's always the most special day of the year, and I just act so silly to get them in the mood. We were just like chanting Ghostbusters, like, "Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters!" Like, and then they kept coming up to me the rest of the day, like just playing at home, being like, "Who are you gonna call?" And oh, so amazing. And then yeah, Grandpa carved the pumpkin and they took the pumpkin home. And we always have McDonald's after we go pumpkin picking. So we go, my mum and her and my stepdad. So they're Nanny and Grandpa as well. And oh, it's just so lovely. I literally had training that night, so I had to leave them a couple hours earlier before they were being picked up, and I cried on the way to work because I missed them so much, and it's just so special. Like we decorate the house, and yeah, really, really special. Anyways, yeah, so I had training that night where I learned all about the ethics of Lush, and like different things to tell customers. For instance, there is a cooperation between Israeli and Palestinian women, which is unaffiliated politically, and they have their own farm. A lot of the corporations are women based. I think it's to give them a fair chance of work. Um, Lush really doesn't use machinery where it can. So like it's everything's handmade, everything's very much the people doing it. Even the farming across the world is used very traditional methods as like the and again also like embracing the culture more and like hyping up people's culture more. Um so they're not then one they can own their own farm still and they can sell they don't have to like sell their land. They can sell what they own, what they are making on the land, which also prevents deforestation as well. So protecting so much wildlife. Also, all the 5p bag money goes straight to a um, replanting tree charity. Um, yeah, the idea is to like everything's handmade, just like no machinery, so that everyone has a fair chance of earning money across the world. And even like down to recycling, like even the pots and stuff you recycle after a certain amount of time they can't be made into pots anymore. So it gets made into like our aprons and or like that we have like little spatulas that we use testers for, and it's like our signage and our gift cards, and even like the ribbons on the gift packaging is all made from old plastic tubs and everything that people bring back to the store to recycle. So I just freaking love that brand so much. I'm sure there's probably things, skeletons in a closet somewhere. There has to be because it's so good to be true. I mean, they use honey, but the way they farm the honey is like the hive is on a slant so that apparently the honey that the bees need stays in the hive and it's just the excess that drains out, and that's what they harvest to make a couple honey products. But Lush are trying to move away from honey because I think previously it was a grey area in terms of veganism, and now it's like no, that it's quite stressful for the bees. But I don't know, I'm guessing having their hive on a slant will also be stressful, but at least they're not, I don't know, maybe the lesser of two evils if they happen to do that. So yeah, I love that brand so much. Um, and then on the 27th of October, I did my first red light therapy bed in my hometown. So I recently found out, I think just by chance, I stopped doing tanning beds. And then I always really, because I know that the tanning shop in London, I went to London once to do the red light bed there. And then I was like, why don't my bloody local one do it? And then I stopped tanning. I went to actually a different sunbed shop and then I stopped tanning completely. Pardon me. But I think I got on, I don't know how I saw it, but I saw that my local one had a red light bed. And I don't know how long they've had it, but I was like, oh my gosh. So I booked myself in for a red light therapy. It's £180 for unlimited for the month. So I go like every other day. I went yesterday. I was just checking. I was like, do I need to go today? No. Which may seem like a lot, but I mean, I have like a red light therapy panel at home, and I have a face mask, but I don't know. To me, it's worth it. It's like a nice spa experience, and it's really, really helped with my neck pain. I get a lot of migraines and headaches from my neck, and I have a certain pillow I have to sleep with, but it's not always the comfiest. So sometimes I don't sleep with it, and then I wake up with a headache for a couple of days. And I haven't had that at all since doing the red light therapy. Often, I feel like my skin looks better. My tattoos, like I haven't just noticed, like other people have noticed that my tattoos look really dark. Um, I mean, I haven't got them touched up, like they're still like faded in between, like they're not like perfect, but yeah, I got more compliments on them. I know my hair, like I've had laser, so like if my on parts of my body, like I only have like tiny hairs there anyways, but it's growing so quickly, which is fine because I can just pluck that out. But hopefully that means the hair on my head is getting healthier too. no paper, and thicker. So yeah, let me see how many times I've done that so far. 1, 2, 3 times. So like every other day, basically. Um, and the last but not least, on the 27th of October was the Day of the Dead for pets. Is how it's obviously a Mexican tradition that I participated in. I put a YouTube video on about it. I kind of said in the YouTube video, I I will be politically correct and protect everyone, like everyone I can. But if me participating in this, fucking hell, I felt like it was in my garden. I need to go check on my cats. Hold on. Thank goodness they're all okay. Fenton and Willow are there, and Betsy's upstairs. I hate but yes, what was I saying? The Day of the Dead for pets. Basically, I was like, if I can see my Tinky, or if I can let her come through, I'm going to do it, and I will deal with the repercussions. And a lot of people were commenting. I mean, I saw on TikTok before, a lot of people were saying, like, I'm Mexican, and I'm so happy if you do this for your pet. Like, don't, like, obviously just do it respectfully. But obviously, if you actually want it to work and you think it's going to work, of course you would do it respectfully because you want your pet to come over. So yeah, I made an ofrenda for my friend Frosty and Twinkle, and yeah, I had some lovely comments to say that like I'm Mexican and I'm more than happy for you to do this every single year to see your to see your cat. Yeah, I won't harp on that too much because I made a whole video about that and it's quite short. But yeah, as soon as I yeah. Anyways, that was the last thing. So yeah, if you wanted to know more about that, there is a video because I can't get the words out right now. But that is my October sum up. Thank you so much for watching this far. If no one's told you lately, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. Um, Again, thank you for allowing me to have this space to talk about things because although I have a therapist, which is again a new thing from this series, um, just to see actually where I am each month and to see the difference is huge. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. I think they're doing more fireworks. But yeah, I will see you in the next video, my darling.